So today we are going to start the anthropology preparation for mains 2025. Okay, this is the orientation session. Before end of this lecture, you will get a clear-cut idea what will be your proper roadmap for the mains 2025. Okay, so I'll be sharing you some good strategies. Even for self-preparation, I'm going to give you some idea, and also what are the features of the foundation course. So everything will be discussed here. Okay. Yes, now we'll enter to the lecture. Yes. So when it comes to optional subject, any optional, what should be your level of preparation? That is more crucial before choosing your optional. See, the mains examination, this is the official notification of UPSC. Every one of you should first go through the official notification before you start preparing the examination. When it comes to optional, UPSC has given you certain criteria on what basis you should have preparation. Say for example, the mains examination is intent to assess the overall intellectual traits and depth of understanding of candidates rather than merely the range of their information and memory. So, your in-depth understanding is very much required. So, this is for every subject, not only anthro. That is your general studies as well. But when it comes to optional, there has been some specific guidelines given by UPSC. You should be really understanding those as well, because optional carries, as you know, 500 marks. So that's going to be your game changer. So before entering into that, what should be your level of preparation when it comes to optional? See, in this, the scope of syllabus for optional subjects, paper 6 and 7 for the examination is broadly of the honors degree level. That is a level degree higher than the bachelor's degree and lower than the master's degree. So this honors degree level should only be your preparation. So this is the explicit guidelines given by UPSC. So with this understanding, now what we will go is, we will see how anthropology can be beneficial for your preparation. Okay. So there are going to be some interesting videos, so please stick to it. It will be very interesting. Okay. Yes. I understand you might be laughing. What it is? Who is it? And I am not a 2K kid, but still, I think one of us, it's Naruto and other is, any one of you can answer? I think it's Kakashi, right? So yes, what it has to do with anthropology? Nothing, but we will be able to tell, right, in the final lecture. Who is this? BTS, right? So these guys are BTS. And who is this? Michael Jordan, right? So what these guys has to do with anthropology? See, anthropology as a subject mainly studies human evolution. How BTS, Michael Jordan, these are humans, right? Of course, Kakashi and Naruto were anime characters. They don't have anything related to anthropology, but we will have in-depth idea about them. But what BTS and the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan, are related with? They are both are humans, but why do they look so different? What is the distinctions between them? Why we are differently made? That is anthropology. Because, you know what Aristotle says? Know thyself. And what Buddha says? If you know yourself, you can rule the world. If you don't understand who you are, if you don't understand how you came into existence, then how you will be able to answer all those internal chaos that existed. So this study, anthropology, studies how humans came into this earth, whether they created or they evolved from some monkey or some ape. To be more specific, Australopithecus in a scientific context. So Australopithecus is nothing but a type of ape. We will be dealing with it. So from that ape only we have evolved. So we will be answering these questions. And why, yes, as I said, why Michael Jordan and BTS look so different? What makes this differences? We will be inquiring in this, how interesting it could be. Correct? Yes, this human evolution is center of study for anthropology. Correct? And it not only predicts the prehistory, that is, for example, how we evolved only. It's going to also inquire how we are going to evolve hereafter. Do we evolve right now? Our monkeys are turning into apes and humans right now? Is the evolution ongoing or it has stopped before? Such interesting questions has to be answered, and that's the objective study of anthropology. So yes, as you know, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? In this movie, Terminator, what it is happening? A robotic hand. It's a robot, it's a humanoid in this movie. But today, we can fix robotic hand. Are we humans? Can we call ourselves humans if we fix a robotic hand for ourselves? Today, evolution is going in that direction as well. Correct? So we are going to predict the future course of evolution, what humans are going to make. How interesting that could be. So this is the center study of anthropology. And there are much more that we are going to say. Correct? And these, obviously, we have seen different of human beings. These two people are some of the important people when it comes to anthropology. One is Franz Boas, is father of cultural anthropology, and next is Ruth Benedict. See, these people are theorists. I am going to introduce you such theorists in the first class itself, so that it's going to be a proper value addition for you guys when you enter into the exam hall. Okay, so yes, Franz Boas, he did objective study, did an in-depth study how cultures vary, and there is an important concept called cultural relativism. I will take you through that topics as we progress, right? So yes, so end of the day, having all BTS, Michael Jordan in mind, end of the day we are preparing for UPSC. We should keep that in mind. So when it comes to anthropology, how anthropology as a subject has fared in UPSC? Why anthropology is become famous when it comes to optional preferences? Because the results what anthropology has given. Every year, it's a bet. I'm going to show you the results as well. Every year, minimum 2 candidates from the top 10 rank will be from anthropology. And one prime example, if you see this year itself, rank 3 and rank 4 are from anthropology. And see, PK Siddharth Kumar, see his scores 326, 325, everyone an average. See, Lakshmi Nagappan 362, which is like equal to a subject like maths. So only anthropology has given that scope of scoring such a high mark than any other discipline, because of the presence and the shortness of syllabus it has. The syllabus is very short, the questions are very direct, and the mix of biology which gives us an advantage. The moment I say biology, most of the people will be, 99% of people will be from engineering background. You should have been done with your biology in 10th standard, but don't worry. Anthropology, biology, 10th standard is more than sufficient. We even stick only till 8th standard biology. You will come to know in this lecture what level of biology also you needed. So this is the performance of anthropology till the recent years, that is the last result. And if you see, as I said, last year 2023 optional anthropology rank 3 and rank 4 are the toppers, right? Then in this lecture, I am going to explore how much ever people have scored in the previous also. There is a Telegram group called Anthropaba. You can find the slides. You can see each and every topper scores. Everyone top 10 rank will be from anthropology, right? Say for example, Uma Hardi, the previous year. The 2021, for example, this Shruti Rajalakshmi. Then Shubham Kumar. Then you have Akshat Jain. So there are so many people who always fared top. And when it comes to anthropology's success rate, this is the UPSC's document. The success rate is above 10%. If you see, anthropology, here is the success rate 9.1% in 2019, and now it's above than even 10%. If you compare this with any other optional, compare with sociology, this would match, and even some subjects it will easily win because of the success rate anthropology has. And if you see, there is a proper statistics of how people who choose social sciences as an edge in their preparation compared to any other discipline. Okay, now having all these things in mind, you would also have your own study. First, let's go to the question whether for anthropology coaching is necessary or not. That is one important question. Every one of you, after seeing a ton of toppers videos and going through Quora, going through discussions, this will be in your mind. I can prepare anthropology self. Why can't I? Because there are some toppers who have been telling me that you can prepare anthro on your own. First, we'll inquire into that. Okay. So first, is coaching necessary for anthro? There are only two type of students I can see. One type of students who know very clearly what they are going to do in their preparation cycle. They have proper mentor source, they have done the proper research, and they know what to implement. And if you can see the toppers' education history, most of them are from IITs, most of them from AIMS or IIMs. It is not their present that has made them to choose. Their previous track record itself is like that. That means right from their school days itself, they know what they know. They have a mental pattern to work. If you are from that, then you should also have a clear idea what you should be doing. If not, you have, like me, you have prepared like a decent score, 90, 95%, 85%, somewhere in that range, and still you can have a miss over that. Still you want to have a clarity, then you should go for. That depends upon you. No one can choose it for you, because ultimately everyone has to fight their own battle. Anyone's idea or anyone trying to convince you, don't take it. Just see whether you're clear in your approach. And if you see most of the toppers, once they clear UPSC, they have photos in any other institutes. Why is that? If they have not taken mentoring from any of this, why their photos appears in many of the institute? In fact, that's what they would say. I have self-prepared, but still they would have taken it at least a test series or a foundation course somewhere, and they would still say that is a natural way of inspiring people. It automatically comes when you reach success. But end of the day, do you have the prerequisites to clear the optional? That is what is important. So I'll tell you what all will be the bottleneck. If you can find a solution for it, then you can self-prepare anthro. Okay. So when it comes to anthro, for self-preparation, you need three things in mind. First is your content. Either your sources are standard. Do you refer the correct material? Because this is UPSC, you have only one time opportunity. 1 year is going for nothing if you fail in it. Okay. So if you strategize properly, if you find the correct content and you are prepared in the right way, that is the second point, approach, by completely covering every aspect of the syllabus, then it's a second hurdle that you would do. Correct? So first thing is your content. And third is the consistency. When it comes to consistency, today, I can see most of the people, the amount of knowledge, the amount of information which is getting bombarded, I'll tell you, you cannot land up, because once one word you Google, there are more than infinite number of pages are opening in it. It keeps going. How will you convince to which article to read? That creates more confusion than clarity. Correct? See, when it comes to content part, now we'll go one by one. Content. Of course, you can just type any word in the Google and you can find an answer for it. I'll tell you what happens when it, because I have mentored more than 600 students. I'm an author of magazines which you will come to know, and I have published a book as well, and I have done my master's in anthropology. With that knowledge, I'm telling you, initially what happens is students collect as much as content they would want. They will have a minimum 5,000 to 6,000 word content for one single word in the topic. They'll Google it and they'll find it. That they know everything about that topic. But end of the day, you need just 250 words for that answer. Now, how you will jot down to get that only 250 words? Correct? If you know the 250 words perfectly, your answer you will get the maximum score. Now in that 5,000 to 6,000 words, how to narrow down? That becomes a challenge. Next part, consistency, self-doubting, manipulating yourself, always having some kind of disturbance in preparation. All these things, what happens, students will prepare 1 to 2, 3 topics in a very regular manner. Fifth day, you see, they'll get missed. They'll get exhausted. So that consistency is very much important. If you put, there are 12 units in paper 1, you should finish that 12 unit only and then take a break. And in that consistent process, you should also have the correct content in hand. And then comes the last one, the 300 word mantra. The last is the, with the consistency, a clarity in your approach. Every level, every question should be answered in a full, without self-doubting process. This is the correct way to self-prepare. To be more micro-specific, because I have given you a general idea about content, approach and consistency. Little more micro-analysis on this. First, what you should do is, to get a 300 plus in Anthro, you should first try comprehending the syllabus. Just Google yourself, before even choosing Anthro. Google yourself. Just take 4 chapters, don't go in depth. All 12 chapters is not required. Just Google. Then once you understand, yes, anthropology is very interesting for me, and as well as it has huge amount of scoring potential. Now what I will do, now I will see the syllabus, how it is directly available. Then once I have chosen, the first process is memorizing the syllabus. See, in our class, what we do is, every day as the topic progresses, that topic has to be bugged up. That is, that topic syllabus has to be memorized. That is how we start the course itself. So memorizing the syllabus is the second step you should be doing. Every jargon you should be able to understand. And then comes the interrelationships. How one topic is related to other. Once you start memorizing the syllabus, you will find there are certain relevance in paper 1 and paper 2. And how to connect these two topics. Then comes, go for the biological part, anthropology, which is the scoring part. Why I would say biological anthropology is scoring? Because there is a very less scope of reducing, because the question is going to be direct. There is no manipulation in biological anthropology. Practice diagrams. And especially why anthropology is again 360, why anthropology is there? Because of the biology presence only. If you see other subjects like sociology or psychology, what happens is, you have to write all the full 3 hours. Here you don't need to write. Almost 30 to 40% is diagram, and that you don't need to draw a 3D diagram and all. It's a very basic diagrams only. You draw it, your half the page is covered instead of writing one full passage. Correct? Then after practicing some diagrams, you can go some current events. How anthropology is evolving today. Anthropology is a very dynamic discipline as well. Correct? Once you understand all these process in a formal manner, then you go for the previous year question. Because everyone, I can see people say, I'll go for the previous year question. If you don't understand the syllabus, you don't know the meaning of the syllabus, then how you will understand what question is asked? It will be like Greek and Latin for you. So first understand the syllabus and then go for previous year question. Then you will know almost every question is asked straightforwardly. Today I will show you the syllabus and you will be able to understand, okay, every question as it is mentioned in the syllabus, questions will be asked. Then after analyzing the previous year question, prioritize the topics which are very important, which topics keep repeating in the exam, and then make a notes out of it. This notes has to be crisp. All theorist examples should be there, and a proper content. Entire anthropology can be covered in 100 to 150 pages. This 150 pages will make you get minimum 300 marks in exam. So make a comprehensive notes. Above all of these things, there is no substitute for answer writing. You have to answer write from the day one of your preparation. Only then you will be able to clear this exam. So these are some of the main techniques which you can follow for clearing the optional in your self-study approach, right? Now I'm going to give you this standard book source as well, so that you can refer them. I'm in the Anthro Baba Telegram group. I have given an elaborate list. Every topic mentioned in the core material as well as value addition material is also mentioned there. So you can go and refer. Correct? So how your preparation should be? First your class notes. In this case, our class notes will be dictated in our class. Along with it, a complete 4-volume book will be given. So class material will also be there. Then Ember and Ember is one famous book. 15th edition you should be buying. Then B.M. Das for physical anthropology. So these are the book list. I don't want to read them, right? It will be in the slides in the group, correct? Then paper 2 also I have separately mentioned. And I would like to mention also there is an Anthrocrat, a magazine which I am editing. I am the chief editor of it. There are more than 12 editions in it. If you see in the Anthropology Telegram group, in the file section, these 12 magazines are free for the students who join here. So, and now you can download it also. You can have the quality of it. You can see it. That is available for you. It's a complete case study compilation for the past 1 year in anthropology. Then other case study avenues are the Hindu, the Indian Express. Obviously, I'm going to compile them and give it only here. But still, if you prefer to read it on your own, you can go for these sources. Apart from that, what are some websites you should be looking out for anthropology is University of Alabama, Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and the Royal Anthropological Institute and Anthropological Survey of India, that is the ASI. These are some of the important institutes, and also some recent issues related to tribals. Say for example, in Yojana, it will be updated. Kaka committee report, gist is available. Union budget you should be looking, PIV. So these are some of the important websites and also some government documents you should be keeping in mind when you have started preparing anthropology. Once these topics might be little new for you, but you will understand eventually, okay, what all these things. Yes, apart from this, you don't go for anthropology as a very academic, very rigorous format, only in examination mode. There can be some general reading books also. Say for example, Sapiens. Every one of you would have come across this book, right? It's a best-selling book by Yuval Noah Harari. He is the author. He is an Israeli historian. He speaks about human evolution. He speaks about the modern day evolution that is taking place. From everything, it's a general read book. I don't think only optional students of anthropology should be reading it. Everyone can read that book. Once you read that book, you know what to do with optional, especially anthropology, correct? That Sapiens book you can read. And there are some of the same author has authored 3 more books as well. Very interesting books you should go. Then Guns, Germs and Steel by Jared Diamond. It is also very important books, which as a general read, as a general knowledge person, you should be knowing about the world and how the world came into existence, right? Apart from that, yes, this is techie generations, you people are more connected to videos. You should be going out for these movies as well. You can see in the YouTube or Prime somewhere it will be available. Apocalypta is one interesting movie I think you should see, and 10,000 BC is about Neanderthals, the human, how it came into evolution, how they lived. And Avatar movie speaks about ecology, the importance of nature, and Kantara again, the importance of nature, forest life, all these things, sacred groves, what is their relevance. And there is a Tamil movie called Aravan. So these are some of the important movies which you can watch and gain some natural knowledge about how human evolution and how humans have even have influenced the course of nature and as well as the environment, right? So these are some casual reads which you should go for. Now, before entering into anthropology as a syllabus, so I'm going to see how we approach at IS Baba anthropology, okay? So first is, in class we will be giving you class notes, a dictated notes will be given. Apart from that, the first day itself you will be made to make answer writing. First day I will be giving you a question. There will be some writing practice in that. Then after the end of the class, the next day before you coming to class, you should be coming ready with those answers. Okay, so first day itself answer writing is there. That will be mainly based on previous year questions and high yielding topics. And then a holistic material, a 4-volume book for anthropology will be given. That 4-volume book is more than sufficient, because all the standard materials what I have said, no matter what, you go to any.com, any online sources, the standard material sources will be the same, and this book is nothing but a compilation of that and also value added with it. So all the international journals have been referred and updated, that is 2024 updated 4-volume book will be available. Along with it, every weekend we will be giving you a class test series, so that if, say for example, you have 12 units in paper 1, once you complete 3 units, we will keep you, apart from daily answer writing, there will be a sectional test. That week we will keep a test for you. So this includes the complete split up test as well. And then a 4 full length test. Once you complete your entire course, a 4 full length like UPSC type, exactly like morning, evening, a 4 full length test will be given. Okay. Then apart from that, what all more will be provided is own notes making strategy, because most of the people feel I want to make my customized notes, even if it is digital. I'm more comfortable making digital notes, even if it is digital notes or handwritten notes. That guidance will also be given. And then every topic related with theorists will be included in your notes, as well as an insight onto it will be guided. And then anthropology through diagrams, a separate compilation books will be given. And what all the PYQ, a micro listed point wise. Say for example, from first unit, how many questions have been asked? For example, from 1985 till 2023, there have been only 4 questions have been asked from unit number 1. So you will get a compilation of that book as well in your classrooms. And then every mains, before going into exam, there will be 100 expected questions for mains will be given. That 100 expected questions will be very closely, and this year itself you will be coming to know. And then practice questions for your interview. So interview previous year questions only related to anthro will be compiled and given. Okay, and I think that is already available in your Anthropology group. You can go and check it. If not, some of you remind me, I can share it to you how UPSC previous year interview questions have been coming for anthropology, right? So apart from this, see, this is a holistic series. Every book here has one solution for it. In IS Baba, there is something called essential series which we are giving for students who are joining anthropology. That is art of answer writing. This book is available even right now in Anthropology group. You can go and read it. How to write answers for anthropology. That is given. Then I said a trend-wise previous year questions. Then 2013 to 23, 10 years main solved question will be given. Then 100 plus theorists name, their profile will be given. Apart from that, an ethnographic profile of Indian tribes and as well as world tribes will be given. And the last one, which is a complete book called Beyond Bones and Burials. I am the author of it, and that will be available for students who are joining this course. So yes, I have explained you what all available in the course. Beyond this, I'm sure and I'm 100% sure that no other institutes will be able to provide so many collective features and all these things. Yes, now more about the course, we'll keep about it. Now we'll see a much more interesting fact about anthropology and human evolution. Okay. So far we have discussed about self-preparation, 300 plus mantra. We have discussed about how anthropology has been in previous years and all these facets. Yes. Apart from that, you might have ton of previous year. You might have some customized doubts. I'm always available in Anthropology Telegram group. You can personally text me as well. And also you please join now. And if you have a doubt, you can keep texting me there anytime. Okay. So yes, now let's enter into some important phase of anthropology. See, in every institute, they would start from anthropology, how it developed and all these things. No, we'll keep that things aside. I take anthropology in a very different format. The first thing is, anthropology, we all know, study about humans. Okay? But how did humans even come? So before that, coming to that question, we should go even before. That is, how even life came into existence. How even Earth came into existence. How the entire universe came into existence. We'll start from there. Only then you will get to understand. Correct? So yes. So first you have to understand a geological time scale. Geological time scale, those of you who have started your preparation for civil services, you would have your NCERT geography. In that, geological time scale is nothing but a time scale, a geology, that is study of Earth. In that, how Earth came into existence and how it is evolved. That is how Earth has changed from the time of existence till now. That time scale tells about Earth. Before understanding our evolution, we should understand how Earth evolved, so that we'll have some clues how humans came into existence. Correct? So these things are first segregated into eons, era, period, epoch and years. See, these are some, for those of you who are freshers, definitely you will understand what it is. It is nothing but separating these into years. We can't separate such millions of years, so we are separating them into one jargons called eon, era and all. Okay, so not to worry about it. So first, this I will connect it later. As you progress, you will be coming to know, right? So first, there was an event called the Big Bang. Most of you should know what is a Big Bang. Long ago, so long ago, no one knows how long ago. That much back, there was a bang. Nothing but a big event in the space happened. This explosion, this huge explosion that happened 13 787 billion years ago, gave birth to universe. This is how it was. Once this bang happened, so much of energy, so much of mass started spreading. And this is a cosmological event. Once this birth of event took place, there was birth of some planets. Sun came into existence. And then all other neighboring planets came into existence. And a small portion of the sun broke and came into some distance and fell and stuck there in space, and it started cooling down at various phases. And that phase, one of that object is Earth. So this 13.787 billion years event started the birth of Earth as well. Okay, that era, once the Earth started cooling down, there were so much of sulfuric acid, gases, so much of rocky things which was going, like volcanic eruptions were going on. After this event, what happened was, there was birth of life. What is the first life which came into existence? Of course, any one of you who studied 10th would have known. It's some unicellular organisms. Correct? So these unicellular organisms like algae, bacteria, all these things came into existence. This era is called as the Precambrian era, which approximately 4.6 to 4 billion years ago that happened. Then after this, oceans and continents came into existence, and the atmosphere was filled with carbon dioxide and oxygen was very, very less level. So there were organisms like algae, like these type of unicellular things. Then came the Cambrian period. What happened in Cambrian period? It was mainly aquatic life, that is the marine invertebrate life was present, organisms like this. This period is called the Cambrian explosion. What is Cambrian explosion is because lot of marine invertebrate organisms started multiplying like anything. They started spreading the entire ocean earth. This happened approximately 541 million years ago. And this happened until the 13 to 14 million years. This gave so much of diversity. Today we see, people are saying we are searching space and we are going for Mars, but you don't know there are so many organisms living below the earth. We don't even know, even till now, on the oceans. The ocean is more diverse than we thought. So this event is called the Cambrian period, where marine invertebrate dominated the earth. Then we have the Ordovician. The Ordovician, which happened between 438 to 505 million years ago, the first fish came into existence. Before, you see, fish was not, but marine invertebrates was there. But the first fish came into existence, and the area north of tropics, which was almost entirely ocean, This gave to one more supercontinent called the Gondwana. Gondwana was there. Geography, once you revise geography, you will know what is Gondwana. It's a huge supercontinent that existed before what we call Asia and all these things. They were clubbed together. This period is called the Ordovician period. Then, see, the earth always has a natural correction force. That is, once organisms will evolve, they will multiply, and suddenly there will be a mass extinction. What will happen? Almost it is like a reset button. Our nature has its own. So the first mass extinction, that is called, almost 85% of organisms that existed during the Ordovician Cambrian period they died away due to reducing sea levels, some disruptive habitats or something, some event. What happens? This mass extinction took place. That is the end of Ordovician period, which happened exactly around 445 million years ago. How we come to understand this? Through geological studies only. We come to know, through all the fossil studies, we'll come to know this first mass extinction has taken place. Next comes the Silurian stage. See what happens in Silurian stage around 4 to 438 period. Lot of plants coming into existence. The first trace of plants is observable, and approximately this once these plants came, what happens? Again marine species goes into death. That happens in Silurian period. Plants like this, you can have a view, right? And some marine vertebrates and invertebrates is also present in the Silurian period. Then the Devonian period. Devonian period is the age of fishes, we say. Like Aquaman, we say today, age of fishes. That is, literally fishes dominated the earth. They just, so many varieties of fish which we can't even see right now. So many fishes were available around 408 to 360 million years ago. This was also the birth of the amphibians. What are amphibians? Those who can live both in marine as well as terrestrial phase, right? Amphibians, little bit they can do. Then comes the second mass extinction in the Devonian period. The late Devonian period, around 375 million years ago, all these organisms again die. Immediately they get vanishes. Around 80 to 75% of species die away. So what happens? Earth makes the second reshift. Once the 75% of species dies, what happens? It gives rise to one more type. Ultimately, if you see, we are all calcium, we are all magnesium, we are all copper, we are a combination of this. The elements which is present in earth only can come again back to life, but it gives to different form of life, right? Then comes the Carboniferous, the age of amphibians. As I said, age of fishes finished. Now Carboniferous period comes, where the age of amphibians is dominating. The first reptiles come into existence. Coral beds are forming, right? Then Permian phase, that is the reptiles. Reptiles dominate the earth around 245 to 286 million years ago. The reptiles dominate the earth. They are present all over. Then comes the Triassic period. As you know, frogs, turtles, all these things dominate the earth. You might feel they are like dinosaurs. No, they are actually reptiles and turtles. They are more bigger in shape those times. Today you can't even see, it will be more than 10 to 15 feet taller, right? So this was the Triassic age. Then comes the fourth mass extinction. So totally we have three mass extinctions. Now comes the fourth mass extinctions due to volcanic eruption. Some kind of massive climate change happened during that time. So the end of Triassic started. Once the Triassic ended, the most interesting phase, yes, Steven Spielberg, the Jurassic Age. Jurassic Age, the age of dinosaurs is coming into existence. That is approximately 140 to 200 million years ago, where dinosaurs dominate the earth. Once the dinosaurs dominate the earth, what should happen? Cretaceous. These dinosaurs, what happens? They go into extinction. Why? Due to a large meteor which struck the earth. And today we are saying even volcanic eruptions had. So this Cretaceous, the extinction of dinosaurs is taking place. Correct? So that with that extinction, the fifth mass extinction is over. that is the end of Cretaceous. Due to, as I said, maybe due to some meteoroids or asteroids. Asteroids and meteors are just different variants, right? So after this attack, again the fifth mass extinction, all the dinosaurs goes into a reset mode. They die away, and now gives birth to the most important phase, that is the your Paleocene. This Paleocene is interest of anthropology. We are not worried about dinosaurs. We are not worried about other amphibians which existed. No, this Paleocene epoch is where anthropology starts. If you see, approximately 57 to 65 million years ago, there was a birth of a small mice. If you ask from which monkey you came, no, which rat we came, that is actually the study. We almost came like a mice-like species, right? 57 to 65 million years ago, these mice-like agents dominate the earth. Then comes the Eocene. In the Eocene, the rabbits and hares come into existence, which happens approximately to 35 to 58 million years ago. These rats and also rabbits and hares dominates the earth. Other species also. Why other species came? They all evolved. This evolutionary will take some branches. One mice will be there. Some changes genetically will happen. They will take different evolutionary patterns. We will come to know. We'll see this in depth how it happens. There are some reasons why it happened. Then comes the Oligocene. Within this rabbit's hair, there is one species which is evolving and coming out. That is the anthropoid ape. The first ape-like species come into existence, which looks like a monkey for you, correct? This Ramapithecus we call, Sivapithecus we call in India, this comes into existence, that is approximately 24 to 37 million years ago, the Oligocene. After Oligocene, we have the Miocene. The Miocene is again a very crucial, as flowering plants come into existence. There are fruit-bearing plants come into existence. So this gives extra nourishments to the species there. They can depend on it, feed on it. Around 5 to 24 million years ago, this evolution process is taking in the earth. Then comes the Pliocene. As I said, I showed you an anthropoid ape. That ape evolved into different species of ape. Like how you see different dogs, you can see, though dogs have only one species, but if you see different types of dogs, right? A golden retriever you can see a boxer, you can see any different type, like that, different types of humans got evolved. Today there are only one species of humans, that is Homo sapiens. But before us, during this evolution process, that is approximately 2 to 5 million years ago, just like 2 to 5 years back, 2 to 5 million years ago, within the Homo genus, there were multiple species like us, which were almost similar to us but different as well. We were evolving. As I said, from that monkey, we all took branches. Different Homo we have. All these things, the skulls might look similar to you, but if you see exactly or a little more specific, you will know they are different. You see, Homo erectus is one of our species, one within our own genus. I'll show you the picture in class. Yes, Heidelbergensis, Neanderthal men, Denisovan, these are some of the species which existed in Homo. Today only sapiens exist. And one of you is explaining and one of you is listening. Yes, Homo sapiens. We are the most toughest species surviving here, right? Then comes the Pleistocene. During this Pleistocene, only Homo sapiens coming into existence. Before that, Homo erectus was there. We were nothing but the more evolved species of other Homo genus organisms. During this Pliocene, one important event happened. That is, the Ice Age started melting. Yes, you would have seen the movie Ice Age, right? What happened in Ice Age? Almost everything will start melting. That period is called the glaciation and interglaciation. It really happened actually. So during this Ice Age, what happened? The more species, if you see, this is not an elephant, this is a mammoth, an ancestor of elephant. So all these things existed in India as well. It was fully covered with snow. But due to climate change, like how mass extinctions happen, due to some gradual climate change, all the ice started melting and oceans started forming. And this ice related animals also died as the climate changed. Within that species which survived, which are able to survive the temperature that changed now, are the fittest species which is surviving. Right? One of it is Homo sapiens. Right? Yes. Holocene. Today we are living in the Holocene only. Holocene is the last glacial period. That is, before that, glacial period is nothing but thousands and thousands of years. Continents will be covered approximately 5 to 6 kilometers of ice from the ground right now we are sitting. That period existed. And after the last glacial period, what happened? Human evolution started to rapidly transform. And then humans came into existence. This is how the human evolution took place before us. Of course, you can't see human evolution today. Why? Human evolution is not something rapidly. You will sleep, tomorrow you will get up into something. No, it happens very, very, very gradually. For one evolution to take place, it is going to make more than 300, 400, 500, 600 years. I can show you one clear example that evolution is happening. Go and see one of your grandfather and check your father and check you. See the body hair, how much you have. Your grandfather will be having too much of body hair, and today you will have lesser compared to even your father. Why? Today our environment is more protected. We are regulating our environment too much. Because of that, humans are evolving. And before your grandfather time, what will happen? They will be more inclined to the environment according to their natural settings. So they need that hair. And one more interesting question that I will prove you now, human evolution is still taking place. How many teeth we have? Anyone can answer it? How many teeth we have? Yes? Can you count today, Vijay Lakshmi, and tell to me in the Anthropology group? Today, end of the class, you're going to count today and say, are you really having 32? Okay? Yes, all of you, please count it and tell whether we are really having 32. That gives a small idea about human evolution, right? Yes, today, human evolution, this is how it goes. We have, and this is a generic idea only. But if you enter into specifics, that's what anthropology is more interested. This we will be seeing. How this happened, what was the reason behind this, and where it will go. Very interesting, correct? Not only this, we are much more interesting things also. I'll be explaining along with the syllabus. And today, one more thing also I have to share. As I said, we have seen the end of Cretaceous, end of Silurian, all these mass extinctions. But today, what happened is called, the International Statistical Union is telling that better we will change this era into Anthropocene epoch only. Anthropocene means what? Anthro means what? Anthro means humans. Logy means what? Study. Geology, study of earth. Psychology, study of psychic unity. Then sociology, study of society. Anthropology, anthropos. Anthropo means is humans in Greek. That is why it's called anthropology. That is study of humans. So that is why today we call it as they are in recommendation that today we should call it as because of Anthropocene. Why? Because after humans came into existence, there are a lot of species which are dying because of carbon dioxide, because of climate change, because of all the gases we release, pollutions, plastic pollution, right? Because of these reasons, marks the impact of humanity on the earth. So for these reasons, we are saying that we should better tell it is Anthropocene. We are changing the entire earth. So that is into consideration. Okay. Now I have explained you why geological time scale is very, very important for you to understand before even entering into subject. Leave the subject apart. Don't study UPSC only from subjective point of view. I have to clear this exam. Definitely I am telling you, all of you will clear this exam. That is totally different. But first study for knowledge. Gain a proper interest in the discipline. Have genuine questions from you. Why we came into existence? What was the first religion came into existence? Where are we living? Why caste came into existence? Why religion came into existence? Who first married? What was the first family? We will be addressing all these things in anthropology. Who did first marry? What was first start of marriage was? Who was the first god? What was the first language? All these things are very, very interesting to read, right? So this sixth mass extinction is right now taking place. There are 60% of species in Earth are actually facing extinction. So because of this, we humans have more responsibility. Anthropology gives you more responsibility as well, because we are no one to disturb any organism, correct? Because they have right to existence. You are no one to decide to someone else's existence, correct? Yes, obviously, people like Elon Musk, what they will say, they know what mass extinction is. Mass extinction is somewhat you cannot avoid. It will definitely happen, even if, because it has already happened, even without the influence of humans. So to avoid this, what Elon Musk is saying, we better go to Mars, right? There is no way out for us. If human species have to survive, before Earth is making a shift, we should better populate the Mars, which is our nearest planet, correct? So this much deep things are, we should be able to understand it, correct? Yes. So with this knowledge, we'll enter anthropology in a short manner. I'll just explain paper 1. Next we will see in the classrooms we'll join. Okay, this is just a orientation session. Nothing very theoretically I want to put it, but still I'm going to explain the syllabus to you so that you will, I can meet you in a better clarity, and also you will be also coming to doubts with me in the Telegram group so that I'll be able to help you there, right? Yes, as I said, anthropology, the term originates from a Greek word called anthropos, that is man, and human being, that is logi, is a study. Logi means study, and anthropos means man or human being. Why I am saying human being? Because man means not women. That question comes. So that is why nothing but a human being. Correct? So anthropology has been defined by many people. We will not go into definitions. Obviously, you can find the slides. But yes, I am going to tell you about some important disciplines how because we are studying humans being from what context we are studying. Are we studying them from biological context? How we evolved? Are we studying any other feature? Because humans is such a broad character. Even psychology studies humans for that sake. But anthropology is a holistic study. Why? We don't only study the human psychology. We not only study human biology. We study all these 4 facets of anthropology. Anthropology is nothing but a club of 4 subjects. In between that, 4 branches, I would say. Not 4 subjects, 4 branches. That is the biological anthropology, the archaeological anthropology, the linguistic anthropology, as well as the socio-cultural anthropology. There are some recent additions like applied anthropology and action anthropology, keeping that apart, but this is the 4 major branches of anthropology. So, in every of these branches, we will be studying little by little all of this in your syllabus. I am not speaking one word beyond your syllabus, so not to worry about it, right? Biological anthropology, what it studies, so long I have been telling, biological evolution we study. We study little about human genetics. Human genetics means don't imagine some CRISPR Cas9, don't imagine any movie that I am going to study DNA level, no. Very basics. Hardy-Weinberg, which we will be studying in 8th standard only. Mendelian genetics, very basic. Pea plant experiment, you would know, correct? Tall dwarf, these things, very easy. Then biological plasticity, that is, I showed you BTS as well as Michael Jordan, how they differ, how they changed. Then primatology, little bit, because primatology is nothing but study of apes, how apes are different. Chimpanzee and gorilla, what is the difference? What are great apes and small apes? Some normal idea, because our interest is not about studying the apes. Just introduction, we will be reading about it. Then comes the archaeological anthropology. What is archaeology? See, when we are studying about human biology and biological evolution, at the same time, culture also has evolved. How culture is also evolved? Say, for example, before we were using bullock carts, now we are using cars, we are using flights also, now we have rockets also. So there have been some evolution in traveling, correct? At the same way, fashion, everything has made some evolution. Food, any component of culture, see, food, dress, All these things had some evolutions. So how we study it? By studying archaeology. Little bit. Indus Valley civilization you study in your prehistory, that is your, for example, in your GS also, in history also. Same thing only here we'll study. Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic. What is this? Little more depth. Not more than 500 words you need for this content. Correct? And what is the difference between prehistory, proto-history and history? See, the key word here is history, which is present in all of these things. You know what is history? History is nothing but a discipline which studies, which only has well written, documented evidences. Say for example, you study about Samudragupta, you study about Aurangzeb. These things are written. If you study them, it is history, right? But what is proto-history then? Proto-history is you have written languages, but you are not able to decipher. You are not able to understand what the languages say. Say for example, Indus Valley civilization, if you see the words of Indus Valley civilization, they are diagrammatic representation, but still so far it has not been deciphered. Because of that, it is called proto-history. That is, literary context is there, but no explanation is right now derived. That is called proto-history. And what is prehistory? Now we would have understood. Those cultures which lived before the invention of writing. Obviously, we are eras like Paleolithic people. They would have had some kind of languages, but it is not written. So finding them, how they lived, is study prehistory. And anthropology is interested in prehistory. That is, studying those cultures which never had any written proof, by deciphering the objects they use, how the burial forms was there. Based on that we study. We have techniques that, right? So that covers archaeological anthropology. Then comes the linguistic anthropology, which was the first language spoken by humans. How many languages are there presently? How language came into existence? Which is the oldest language in the world? So many languages are dying today. So many linguistic issues are happening today. If you see, there are issues in Karnataka because of that Kannada language should be most of the areas. Why it happens? If you see, language especially is very, very sensitive matter according to cultures. You see what happened in Bangladesh. Bangladesh and Pakistan was together. It is called East and West Pakistan. The day Bangladesh had a notification from the West Pakistan saying that Urdu will be the national language from today, what happened? Bangladesh separated. It got independent. Why? Because language for the Bangladesh people, Bengali is more important for them. That is why language you cannot touch. Why language is so important? If someone get an accident, you can also see immediately they will get up and ask, what happened to me? Where am I? Who am I? But they will ask in their mother tongue only. Why? They should have asked in Chinese, Mandarin, or maybe Russian. No, they are asking only in their own language. Why? That much impact language has in one's personality as well as brain as well. So we study this linguistic anthropology, right? Then comes the socio-cultural anthropology. It's very interesting topic about who got first married, as I said. What was the first family was looking? How it was? What was the first religion? What type of political organization existed there? Who were called the kins? How many cultures exist in the world? Do every cultures have religion? Or is there any culture without religion? Do every culture has politics? Or there is no culture without politics? Such type of very, very interesting question. Say for example, suddenly there is an event. Why this festival is happening? Invariably, every culture has a festival. Why festival? What is the reason for festival? See, you might have some speculation. Because we are part of cultures. We are beings of culture. We are uniquely placed in the human animal kingdom itself because we have culture. Instantly we will be speaking, hey, that is my culture. Which culture is superior? Which culture is inferior? Which culture is big? Which culture is small? So immediately that question would come, you might feel which culture is superior. So interestingly, we'll be finding these answers in this, right? That is called socio-cultural anthropology. Then Obviously, relevance of anthropology. Once you study anthropology, you will always look at things in a very holistic perspective. You will not start discriminating people on religion, language. You will see everything in a neutral perspective, like what an actual administrator needs. You will develop critical thinking skills. If you see a caste issue, a religious riot, you will know what it has and how to deal with it, because you have studied that in depth. When it came into existence 2000, 3000 years back, you would say. So how to deal with it? You would be knowing it. So you will be developing the critical thinking capacity. Then you will have some cross-cultural perspective. How you see different, you will be seeing the world in different dimension only. A cross-cultural perspective will be able to develop. A broad world view will come. You will know why an American behaves like an American and why an Indian is Indian. Why a South Indian is a South Indian, why is a North Indian behaves that way, why is a Northeast Indian behaves that way. Everyone you will be able to relate it. A global literacy will develop in you. And as an administrator, it is not only needed, you should implement through only by letter. A constitution, I have rules, I will follow. No, you should have a spirit behind it. So as an administrator, anthropology will build that spirit, how you should work when it comes to vulnerable sections, especially the tribal groups, especially women, especially the most untouched versions of humans. You are dealing with them properly, right? So these are some of the important takeaways when it comes to anthropology in a broad perspective. Now, the syllabus of anthropology is there. You can go through. See, the first unit speaks about the meaning, scope and development, which is a basic study what anthropology is. Second topic speaks about how anthropology is differentiated with psychology, sociology, that we study. Then, as I said, anthropology has four main branches. We'll be studying about that in the chapter number 1.3. See, there are 12 units in anthropology paper 1. These 12 units will be covered in your 250 marks. That will be asked. And paper 2, we have 9 units. So totally we have 21 units in anthropology. Completing this is very, very short syllabus. I would say a student doesn't need more than 90 to 120 days maximum. You can complete anthropology and keep it aside. Unlike any other optional, you will not find daily news like laws, constitution you need to follow, which you will not have nothing. Find a static source and as well as dynamic there. That is why I am putting a magazine. A separate monthly magazine is given to you where you don't need to go anywhere. Just find what it is relevant, how developments are happening in anthropology. Correct? Then we'll be studying about Darwin, because as we have spoken about so many mass extinctions, there are some species which have survived the worst, and that species are called the fittest of species, right? What Darwin said, the survival of the fittest and struggle for existence. That species are the fittest among all. So that is why we study about Darwin. And after Darwin, so many people have spoken about evolution, how it has happened. So yes, and also I spoke about primatology, that is about apes, chimpanzees, gorillas, just an introduction, we'll be reading about that. Then comes the human evolution, how humans evolved. During that, what all changes skeleton has made. Don't worry, there will be basic anatomy I'll be teaching you. It will be interesting actually, because it is time for you to be healthy nowadays. You should be knowing basic biology, not for anthropology, for UPSC. Today, see, COVID happened. There are so many other diseases coming day to day. Even if you don't know basic biology, how you will protect yourself, right? So basic biology we will be teaching you, right? Which is nothing but the syllabus itself says the cell DNA structure. Cell and DNA, do you think you need a rocket science to understand those things? No. Then mutations, chromosomes, cell divisions are very basics to 8th standard level only. Then as I said, archaeological anthropology comes in 1.8, Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic I mentioned. Then nature of culture, we study about cultures, society, marriage, how marriage happened, how many types of marriages are there, what is dowry, how it came into existence, what is bride wealth. Bride wealth means like how dowry we give in tribal cultures. If you see, you need to marry a woman, you should only give the money. The man should give money. Actually, if you see in modern day context, because they are losing one person in their family, one economic hand is being lost. So bride service has to be given. That is, a man should go to a female's home and give 3 years service. That is, take care of all the household work, take care of them. Only then he can marry the girl. So that is called bride service. So these are very interesting, when you study different cultures, it will be very interesting what type of newer elements are there. And in most of the time, you can learn a lot from that, right? And family is one basic unit of social structures, right? Every society has family, but how many types of families are there? What all type of residents they follow? What is the impact? Today, what happens? Today, we have gay marriages. I'm not wrong. I'm not saying no for gay marriages, but I'm saying gay marriages are happening. Families are gestable. In Bangalore and some metros, you can see co-living. People are living from any corners, come and live together, and live-in relationships are there. So all these things, this challenges the notion of a traditional family. Traditional family used to be a joint family, but today nuclear family is the norm, and single parent family divorce rates are increasing. If you see US today, we used to say US people don't follow culture. Today I'll tell you there are more divorce rates in India than compared to US. They have more family values now. Divorce rates are increasing. Why? Because of individualism. This is mine, that is yours. Why families have that issue? You will be gaining personal knowledge also in this. We'll have a lot of discussions in class. Since this is an online orientation, I'm not able to discuss, but all these modern phenomena, if you see previous year UPSC question, they have asked about live-in relationships. What is your opinion on it? You go on Anthropology 2013 or 14, you see the question, 14 question I think. They have asked about live-in relationship. Who knows, tomorrow they can ask about gay marriages or LGBT community, how they are changing the family structures. All these things are part of questions, correct? Then kinship. Of course, kingship knows no kinship, correct? Any of you have seen Game of Thrones? Of course, if any of you know how families fight for powers, today if you ask you want to marry someone, who comes first into your mind? Not even your parents. It is all your relatives only. Correct? What they will say? Arey, my parents are okay, but my family, that relations, they will not do anything. That is why. That is the main component. You can survive without even a father and mother, but without kinship, you cannot survive. Correct? So that is the thing, how cultures evolve. So kinship, we'll be studying about how they influence in individual level, societal level, right? Then economic organizations. Today economy is mainly in monetary terms, money terms, but before how economical transactions taken place, how hunting tribes, how they have economic transactions. All these things will be at. It will be very interesting economically also, because there are some exchange patterns which has happened for years and years, even till now. If you see, there are certain cultures which doesn't transact through money, correct? Then political organizations, who is the first tribal leader who came into existence, how tribal leadership exists, right? Then religion, as I said, what all the type of religions, beliefs that existence in human culture, who was the first God came into existence, whether God came into existence or we gave birth to God. All these things we'll be discussing, right? Then anthropological theories, foundational aspects of socio-cultural anthropology, research method, languages. These are some of the units where we are touching. We'll be delving them deeply in classes, right? Then human genetics, as I said, basic human genetics, DNA recombinant technology is not even depth. It's it's just cut, copy, paste. That is DNA recombinant technology. It's again an easy topic there. Then Mendelian genetics, I told, tall, these type of aspects in 8th biology we'll be reading. Then concept of genetic, Hardy-Weinberg. This also we would have read in your school level. Then little bit of chromosomes, why there are transgenders, what happens to them. They are only doing it psychological problem, or they are genetically they have a problem. Actual reason is they have genetical defect. That is why they are that way. You will know why. How many pair of chromosomes we have? Anyone can answer? How many pair of chromosomes humans have? A basic question. 23. Yes, Vijayalakshmi, correct. 23 pair of chromosomes, totally 46 chromosomes we have. But if you see in people with transgenders in that community, there will be a defect in that chromosome, especially the sex chromosome. That is, the 23rd pair of chromosome will have an extra pair. Say for example, either it will be an extra or absence. So especially an XX will be, usually for female it will be XX, and for male it will be XY chromosomes. Okay, but for them it will be XXY or XYY. What will happen? Some kind of problems will happen, right? So usually it is about triple X or XXY. XYY doesn't happen because that is genetically very rare case, and such baby will not be born. But still, I'm saying these are type of syndromes which they will be affected. Correct? Then we'll study about racism. Why I am brown? Why Jordan is dark? Why BTS is very fair? Why they are yellowish? All these things we will study, as I said in the beginning of the class. Right? Race, racial differences. Then age, there are some basic parameters, that is genetic markers we say. Blood groups, how many type of blood groups are there? What an A and O will give birth to, what A and B blood group will give birth to. These are interesting because end of the day you're going to marry someone. Now you will know whom you can marry. You will know what blood group. This will also help in paternity diagnosis. Correct? No dispute will come. If you and your wife are A or you and your husband are AA, definitely a B group should not be there as a child, right? So this is a proper checking verification, and interesting to read also, right? And other aspects also we'll be reading. Then ecological anthropology, as I said, how humans have surveyed in hot deserts, in extreme climates like the Inuits, Eskimos we say, how they survive. They are genetically different from us. Tibetans, they are different from us. They have larger lung capacity compared to us. So there are some evolutionary impact in them also. We'll be reading about that. Then epidemiological anthropology, written about health and diseases, nutritional diseases, protein deficiency diseases. We'll be reading about that as well. Then the concept of growth from prenatal, that is pre-birth, till senescence, till death, how we have growth patterns, how intellectually we grow, development will take place intellectually, and how we grow physically also will be understanding it. And then we have little bit of relevance of menarche and menopause. Those of relevance of menarche is which will happen for menstruation cycle for women. We'll be understanding little about that, as well as demographic theories, how aging population is there in China. India is the largest, youngest population in the world, and largest population also. What impact it has, it can have in a nation as a whole. Then applications of anthropology, that is sports anthropology, very interesting I would say. What type of sports you should choose? Obviously Michael Jordan can choose basketball. He can choose, say for example, he can definitely be a good runner also like Usain Bolt, but he cannot choose bodybuilding. If he chooses bodybuilding, he will break more bones. Because if you see a good bodybuilders, no, especially if you see in real life, they will be shorter in nature. And bodybuilding is really good for short people. And if you see for runners, you need long legs. So jumping exercise, you need long legs. And if you don't have that gene, just because out of interest, why India is not able to produce marathon runners or very good sprinters is because we don't have long legs. We are genetically not ready for that. And perhaps that is why cricket doesn't need anything. That is why we are having always success in that. But physically, if you see, there are certain sports which demands it. If you see shot put, a lean person cannot have a good shot throw. Whereas a tall person but a heavy body weight is needed for it. So every sports has certain body type. Based on that, you can choose which sports you want. In that case, India can attain a gold. So, like shooting, we can do at the best. Choose a tribal child. She'll naturally be able to shoot. Right? So, sports anthropology is also very interesting to read. Right? So, these are some applications of anthropology. I have seen a previous year question I am showing you just for your references. But in class, we will be showing. Right? If you see the first question here, the debate between formalist and substantivist approach. Okay, now you don't know what is it, not required, but you just understand the question is about debate between formalist and substantivist, right? As I told, anthropology will be asking direct questions, correct? Now I am going to unit number 3. Number 3, the first word in that unit, we'll go. Just one. You see, formalist versus and substantivist debate. What was the question? Formalist and substantivist debate. This is exactly how 95% of your paper will be. That is directly hitting. See, those of you can see with the syllabus only. As I am sharing the slide, you can refer yourself. So the first question itself states that debate between formalist and substantivist approach. So this is how anthropology questions also will be very direct. And now today I am going to show you little bit of interview questions. With that I'll end the session so that I don't want to exhaust you too much. Okay. See, for example, why did you take anthropology despite engineering background? Obviously everyone should be preparing for this topic. What are the branches of anthropology? Tell me, what are the branches of anthropology? 4 branches I said. Recollect it, right? Why Neanderthals vanished from the earth? I have been discussing you before. Homo sapiens are the only species surviving right now. Before so many species existed, why they died? That is the question, right? That we'll discuss in the class, right? So these are the main overview. I have given you a bird's eye view of anthropology as an optional. The rest we will be continuing in the class. All the details will be shared in Anthro Baba Telegram group. Please join today for further updates. I want to see each and every one of you in class so that we'll have a proper healthier discussion, and it will be a wonderful session to see you guys at the class. Okay? Yeah, today I'll end this session today. Yes, thank you guys.